Just Joe here, and I've got too many movies. Maybe I should watch one. It is Friday, bitches, which means I'm gonna watch another movie from my collection that I have never seen before, and it always excites me. Always, always, always. As long as it's a good movie. Thank God this week, what I'm gonna watch actually, as far as I know, is a good movie. It got a lot of praise when it came out a couple years ago. That's right, this is a fairly new movie that I bought, and once again, I was kind of intimidated to watch it because it's a sci-fi thriller, and I am a huge fan of sci-fi. I'm a huge fan of sci-fi. I love sci-fi. I love, almost everything sci-fi, like even the older, really bad stuff. I love sci-fi to death, and this movie was praised as like a sci-fi classic. It wasn't a huge hit, and it got nominated for, a couple Academy Awards, which it won one for Best Visual Effects. Well-deserved, by the way. But I was still a bit intimidated. But I'm excited today to watch the movie that I'm about ready to say. I'm going to say the movie's title right now. I'm actually going to grab the movie and... hang on. I forgot what I was going to do. Oh, that's right. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you the movie. Hang on. Okay, enough freaking around. Today, I'm going to watch... Ex Machina. That's right. What is now being called a sci-fi classic, I'm going to go put into my Blu-ray player and watch it because it's on Blu-ray. So, yeah, I'm gonna give this a shot, and I'll be right back, and I'll give my thoughts about it, and hopefully it's really good, and I need a refill anyway, so bye! Okay! Shit! I almost fell. Alright, I just got done watching Ex Machina. Now, did it live up to the hype? Well, I'm sorry to tell you guys. Sometimes an internet reviewer has an unpopular opinion. In this case, my opinion on Ex Machina was that it was brilliant! Almost got you with my Oscar-winning acting. That's right, I've won an Oscar. Don't look it up. You're not gonna find anywhere that says I won an Oscar, but I did. Would I lie? Short answer is I would. Alright, so anyway, let's get into it. As always, I start with the plot / the script. The plot of Ex Machina is, quite simple and quite complex. I think I've used that many times, but it really is. But the plot of Ex Machina is basically a young programmer named Caleb wins some kind of contest where he's going to go to this big boss named Nathan, played by Oscar Isaac, who's becoming one of my favorite actors, in this generation. This dude is on fire the last few years, and he just gives these amazing performances, and this one is no exception. But I'll get to that. But, he wins a contest to be able to go to this guy's house, and they're not really sure what's going on, if it's just a little outing or whatever, and it's this big place in the middle of nowhere, and this guy Caleb, he became this big deal when he was a teenager. He's a genius. He's like Steve Jobs' genius, except without all the possible stealing of ideas, if that's true at all. If it is, I'll throw that in the trash. Bye-bye, iPhone, your inventor was a dick. But he goes out to his house, and it's basically revealed to him that he's going to be a part of a secret project. And the project is that Nathan has invented AI. He's invented an AI who's played by Alicia Vindiker. Alicia. But it's an AI. She is a robot, but he wants to use Caleb to talk with her to see if he's been successful, that she's an AI, but she has basically developed, for lack of a better word, a soul. And so it's all about the conversations, or not everything, but it's about the conversations between Caleb and Ava, which is the AI's name. That's really kind of it. I mean, when it comes to the plot, there's a lot to it, and there's a lot of just great dialogue in the script. Very well written by the writer and director. And it was his first movie! This is his first movie, and he made one of the best movies of the last 10 years! Dude! That's not fair! fuck you, Alex Garland! But I loved your movie. But when it really comes to the plot, I mean, that's basically what it is. And, you know, Ava's already highly intelligent, and, you know, she kind of starts to fall, you know, for the main character, and Nathan is kind of mysterious, and, you know, Ava kind of tells the guy, like, don't trust Nathan. You know, he's a liar and all this other stuff, and starts getting in Caleb's head, and he starts to kind of wonder weird things, you know, and it brings up so many questions on if, like, you know, artificial intelligence should happen, which it probably shouldn't, because it will destroy us all. You know, I just saw Terminator 2 the other day in the theater, and it reminded me that, yeah, it's gonna kill us! And Ex Machina, like, that's not what the movie's about. It's about the interaction between really Caleb and Ava, and the thrilling part is what's going on. You know, there's no bad guys, really. Nathan's not really a bad guy. He's just kind of a jerk, but he's you know, a genius, and he doesn't really see anything wrong in what he's doing. But when they starts to uncover, you know, everything he's gone through to make this AI, you know, Caleb uncovers some stuff. It's really kind of sickening stuff, and you feel bad for Ava, and you kind of start to, you know, the actress playing her is a beautiful girl, but you see her as beautiful, but also she's trapped. She's almost like a slave, and you feel bad for her, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I don't really know if I want her to escape or anything, you know, but, you know, it's probably not gonna be good for, you know, the world, you know, AI thinking for themselves and going out into the world. Probably not a good idea. But, you know, it comes to a thrilling conclusion that it's not like it's a twist or anything. This isn't a movie about twists. There's a couple, but they're not really twists. It's just, they're basically just moments, they're like little secrets finally revealed in a way. You know, it's not really twists, but, you know, there are twists and turns in the story brilliantly woven together, and the movie just flows so well. And, you know, but that all has to do really, well, I mean, for right now, because I'm talking about the plot and the script, because that really basically is the plot, and, you know, but it's because of that script. That script was so well put together. The characters are very well fleshed out without a shit ton of exposition or anything, or force on the audience, and you know these characters. It jumps directly into the story within the first 10 minutes. He's at Nathan's house. Like, and you find out more about Nathan as the movie goes on. It's so great, and it's different, and, you know, that script is just so good. One of the finest sci-fi scripts I've ever seen put to screen, and there's been a lot of great ones. But this is a solid movie. At the moment, I can't think of any plot holes or anything that wouldn't work. I wouldn't change a thing with the script or the plot. Both were excellent. So next up, I talk about the cast/the characters. There's only 4 characters in this, so not really much to talk about, but each one nails it. Like I already said, Oscar Isaac is becoming one of the best actors of this generation, one of my favorites, and he nails it in this movie. He's, you know, a bully, he's an asshole, but he feels like he's doing the right thing, and all he's trying to do is create. He's just trying to invent, like most guys do, and he knows it could be for better or for worse for the future of the world, but he's doing it anyway because he can. He kind of symbolizes what the world has become, what man has become, but he nails it. And the main character, Caleb, I can't remember the actor's name, I'm sorry, he's only been in a few things that I've seen, but again, just a fantastic performance. You know, he's very naive, but he's not really one to be pushed around. I was worried he was going to be a wimp, and he's not. And when he starts to question things, he stands up for himself, but at the same time, he's not really sure if he's doing the right thing, and he's confused, as the audience is, about his relationship with Ava. Is he falling for this AI? You know, is she actually falling for him? Is this all a ruse? You know, what? And he doesn't know, just like the audience, what the hell is the grand scheme here? What is going on with Nathan? But the guy who plays Caleb, it's, again, perfect. And there's also one more character I didn't mention yet. It's a woman that's in the movie. Again, I can't remember her name. She never speaks in the movie, not one line, because she doesn't speak English. And that's why Nathan hired her, but she's kind of like, you know, around for him and to do whatever, you know, kind of like a secretary or whatever, and a house servant, I hate to say, but again, a beautiful woman, and even though she never has a line of dialogue, just with her facial expressions, everything, great performance. And really the person that stole the show was Alicia, playing Ava. I mean, I had no problem thinking that this was an AI. This wasn't an actress playing AI, like this was AI. She comes off as artificial intelligence, as a robot, and she did a fantastic job, completely stole the movie. I kind of think it's a shame she didn't get an Academy Award nomination. She got like every other nomination except for Academy Award, but then like next year she won an Academy Award anyway for, I believe, The Danish Girl, so it doesn't really matter. But I kind of wish she would have gotten that because she nailed it. When she wasn't on screen, I missed her character. I missed Ava because I wanted to see more of her and what she would do. Just casting was perfect. And again with the characters, because the script was so well written, the characters are so well written. Minus the house servants, you know, every character has interesting dialogue and everything fits together. There's no wasted words here. And the characters, you know, the dialogue between each other means something, and every character is fleshed out. Even Ava is fleshed out, even though there's not much to her, but there kind of is a little bit. There's more to her than you think, more than meets the eye. And, you know, same with Caleb and same with Nathan, and everyone just hits it perfectly, and I love the characters, and I love how small the cast is. I love movies that almost kind of feels like a play. You know, this was like a sci-fi play, but a movie. I think it's the first time I've ever thought that, and that's awesome. And last but not least, I'm gonna talk about the directing, editing, and the music. The director, it was the first time he ever directed a feature-length movie, and again, he nails it. Just the atmosphere and the cinematography, along with the direction, it just, everything hits home. It looks gorgeous. I mean, the locations were great, and he knew how to shoot them. They knew how to get the shots, when to move the camera, when to go in, you know, when to stay, when to back off. Everything is perfect. I mean, the direction was just gorgeous. The editing, the movie flowed, you know, it was not even an hour, 50-minute movie, but it flowed so well. Like, the first hour flew by before I even realized. I'm like, oh, damn, and I was depressed. I'm like, I don't want there to only be another 45 minutes. Can this be a 5-hour movie? You know, can this be like Seven Samurai, which is like a 20-hour movie, please? And fortunately, it's not meant to be, but the editing, again, was perfect. And the music, immediately after the movie, I downloaded the soundtrack, which I think I'm gonna say a lot, and I'm gonna end up spending a lot more money than I should on soundtracks on iTunes, so I'm keeping iTunes, you know, in business, so you're welcome. But the music was almost like, I felt kind of old schoolish in a way, like old school sci-fi, but it felt new and fresh. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. When the music, you could barely hear it, but it helped the scene and helped the emotion of the scene when it was used. But then, like, you know, when it was loud and kind of like almost like piercing your ears in the really thrilling scenes or really dramatic scenes, it was beautiful, and I love the soundtrack. And I immediately, once the credits rolled, I bought it. The music in this was perfect. My final thoughts on Ex Machina is, I can't wait to watch this again. This is such a rewatchable movie, and I think I'm gonna see things that I didn't see the first time I watched it. I mean, this is such a well put together movie. It was actually incredibly low budget. For a movie with such spectacular visual effects, where one of the main characters has a bunch of visual effects to make her look like an android, not all put together in a way, on a $15 million budget, I don't know how they did it, but they did it, and for them to win an Oscar when they're up against these big Marvel budget movies, you know, with a $100 million budget for visual effects or whatever it is, it's amazing what they pulled off in this movie, and the technology they come up with, where it seems like it probably already exists, and maybe we don't know about it, or maybe it's close to exist, I don't know, but it just, the visual effects were fantastic and added to the story. It didn't distract you from it. The characters, you know, were great. Like I said, it felt like a play, and it's you know, not many sci-fi thrillers grasp me. Like, one of my all-time favorite movies, Alien. That's a sci-fi thriller or a sci-fi horror movie, whatever you want to call it. But Ex Machina, it's different, it's fresh. I think it should have been a much bigger hit than it was, but it made about double its budget, so not bad. It was still like a hit, doubled budget, that's not bad, but it should have got a lot more recognition in terms of with audiences. Critics loved it because, like I said, the direction, the script is great, editing, music, the cast, characters, everything came together, and all the right people to make this brilliant, almost kind of groundbreaking sci-fi thriller that leaves you thinking, right? Like, once the movie ended, I didn't want it to end. I wanted to keep going. I wanted to see what was going to happen with these characters. I wanted to see where the story continued. And honestly, even though there shouldn't be a sequel, there could be a sequel, and I would be up for it if it was the same people making it, because I want to see what happens. I really think there's more of a story to tell here, and I cannot believe I'm saying that, because I'm usually against sequels when a movie like this is so damn perfect. But regardless, if there's never a sequel, that's fine. It ended beautifully. It left me wanting more. I had a great time watching it. I didn't take my eyes off the screen. I didn't for an hour and 50 minutes, and I cannot wait to watch this again, hopefully with some friends who haven't seen it, because I want them to experience this amazing piece of film. So I give Ex Machina a Just Joe rating of 5 out of 5. Thank you very much for tuning in to Too Many Movies with me, Just Joe, and coffee. That's right, I have a sidekick. It's like Conan with Andy Richter, or Johnny Carson with Ed McMahon. It's Just Joe and coffee. Say something, coffee. He's a deaf mute. But like I said, thank you very much for tuning in. All the links are in the description below. I do a new video every single Friday where I watch a movie from my collection. Hopefully I'll have some more tuning movies at the movies up soon. Hoping to see some in the theater and have that up, like I said, very, very soon. You know, I got a video in my description, you know, going through my entire collection. Watch it and recommend a movie. I'll let you know if I've seen it or not. Hopefully it'll be on to be, you know, future edition of Too Many Movies. So I'm Just Joe. I've still got too many movies, as you can see, and I will see you next week. Take care. Coffee. Quiet on the set.